Well, this is really a somewhat of a Teacher Protection Act. Senate Bill 153 just simply says that if a teacher is released from their job for some other reason other than performance, and most of the reasons, of course, are going to be around financial issues now as the economy continues to struggle. But if, in fact, a teacher were to be laid off for that purpose, what we don't want to have happen is the next time they apply for a teaching job, that their prospective employer believes that it had anything to do with their performance as a teacher. And unfortunately, that was what was happening. Senate Bill 153 seeks to protect our teachers by changing that and making sure that when a teacher is released for a non-performance issue, that it's noted in their record so that they can go and apply for a new job and not have that held against them. I think this is good for our teachers. It certainly respects the job they do, recognizing the economic conditions that have caused some layoffs that are unfortunate, and we hope to solve that by helping the economy move along stronger. But we also want to make sure that teachers can go get other good teaching jobs and not have that be held against them. Well, years ago, I started on kind of a crusade to reform our property tax system, which most people argued and understood is maybe the worst in the country. It is so convoluted, so misunderstood, so heavily weighed against the taxpayer, or at least it was, that people in poll after poll said they hated the property tax system the most. So we started down that path and recognized that it was extremely difficult. We passed a monumental bill a few years ago, changing the system, changing the way properties are assessed, changing the way you can appeal. Now in Georgia, your right to appeal is completely guaranteed. Prior to that, you only had a right to appeal if you got a notice. Now we make sure everybody gets a notice so they all get the chance to appeal. But that doesn't mean there aren't still problems, and this is yet another bill dealing with that assessment and appeals process to make sure we further protect the taxpayer, make sure your rights to appeal are protected all along the process, give you more options for appealing your property tax, and making sure at the end of the day that when you do appeal a property tax or an assessor assesses your property, ultimately what we get to is true fair market value. That's what the taxpayers expect, that's what they deserve. This bill, along with what we did a few years ago, is getting us very close to that. Well, the town halls, we're getting close to number 150. We're having a couple of more this weekend, and that will be great. I hope everybody comes out. But yeah, we just simply give a review of what's happening in the legislative session, and then we open it up to questions, and then we open it up to ideas. What we want to do is kind of talk about what's happening, but then find out what people have questions about, and then see if we can get good ideas from people. Because, you know, we get stuck here inside the Capitol, working amongst ourselves so much. We oftentimes, I think, forget that the 236 members of this General Assembly, House and Senate combined, are never going to have as many good ideas as the 10 million Georgians that we represent. So making sure that we're in the community, doing town hall meetings, getting good ideas on how to improve Georgia, I think it's critical to how you do your job here. I encourage other lawmakers to do it. Like I said, going on almost 150 of these, I've got a lot of good ideas that have come out of town hall meetings. A lot of the ideas I work with as it pertains to property tax reform have come out of town hall meetings. So those are the type of things you can get. And just interacting with the people you represent is always a good idea for those who want to be in public service.